So,
the rails didn't even replace, but when I met her that day, she come to the door and said it was raining.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
hey,
How are you?
how are you?
Out there? Or
Well, whatever's most convenient. What we were here to do is you mentioned a couple of things that your other guy was going to do. I want to make sure
Right.
we do them too.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. And I realized that one of them I may have been assuming and he may not have been. And that was
Okay.
the broken porch thing. So that we can leave that out. The main thing that I really did want fixed, this window up here
Sure.
is broken.
Okay.
The one on the left here, because there's a big crack in that top pane.
Yep, I see it.
So that was the one major thing that I really wanted fixed.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if the porch was included or not when I went back and looked, so I'll deal with that separately.
Okay.
We can definitely fix that window. That's not a problem.
Randy, how do you feel about these soffits? Fascia.
Soffits.
You see the soffit here. Fascia, and then here again, I don't know if
His offer said all the rotten soffit and fascia he was going to replace. I mean, if you want to see it.
Well, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Well, I got to
think we
make
had
friends
all the-
with you because I think that we're going to be real close when I get to Camp Butner one day, and they're going to take me up
I
there.
hope not.
Well,
That
no.
doesn't happen.
Well, you know, they're measuring me for that little white jacket right now, and the things keep on like they have been. But, yeah, and you know, here again, I want to make sure that you get apples to apples, because you know, and we will take a look. And in our defense, when what was that, like, you know, $17,000, or what was the
I
quote?
think 17.7 was what you guys.
Yeah, so it's about, you know, like 8% difference, which it's real close.
Okay.
And you know, it is. And
No, and I appreciate it. It's just to me having $1,500 extra in my bank account or not. Is
well, I agree.
Where I
And
am
we
in
want
life.
to compromise because I tell you, we're working for the testimonial.
Yeah.
You know, he's wealthy enough, and he doesn't need the money, and the testimonial is important to me. Otherwise, but yeah, I mean, you know, the little railing here, because you've got a good post.
Yeah.
But you know, to put this on is that small.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And I can tell you with this right here,
Uh-huh.
when we put in our rails, this is going to be off anyhow.
Okay.
We had to put it back on. This is not right, so I was figuring putting it back on and
Right.
painting it as
Yeah.
we go along
Yeah.
anyhow.
Agree.
If it does damage, it's going to be new, so we get that side and back behind it.
Okay. So that's
Same thing with this one right here. But
yeah.
Can you help us with colors?
Repairing this one.
I think I want to keep the colors the same because otherwise
Yeah.
I gotta like petition the homeowners association.
Well,
and
it's
all
kind
that
of white
stuff,
on white, and here again, the second question is sheen of the whites.
Uh-huh.
And you want to have everything flat, or you want to have the whole thing flat white, or satin white, or an eggshell white, or?
Yeah. So
Okay.
flat white is
Flat for the side.
Do the whole thing.
Gloss trim.
okay.
You want semi-gloss trim it?
Yeah, that way
Sounds
when she
good.
power washes it,
Yeah,
it'll come
okay.
right back off. It won't do
Yeah.
like it is now.
I understand.
Yeah, that stuff up there is
Yeah.
from where I tried to clean out my own gutters and it
Okay.
was all hitting the side of the house, and I was just like, screw it.
Well, that's fine. We do gutters too, and you know, here again, that we
Oh,
want.
and he was going to put a gutter here, over these windows where there's not one.
Okay.
Because he said that that's part of the reason that it's so rotten under the right window.
He's right.
Okay.
I would agree. And
Okay.
and the rain needs to get away, at least at a drip edge or something to get
Okay.
the rain. And I'd say maybe both, because it's turning under.
Okay.
You used to have a gutter up there at one point, I believe.
No.
Should
Okay.
have.
Not since I lived here,
'Cause
but.
it looks like
Should have. It's not. I agree.
possible holes for some
Oh, okay.
Right.
downspouts, and the way that trim is piecemealed up there, it looks like someone's replaced it.
Yeah. It was this was a rental property before I bought it, and so I think they kind of made a lot of shortcuts.
Yeah.
They treat
Without
rentals
keep.
different. There's no question. I do have a question, if I may.
Uh-huh.
Is the removing of some of this stuff that's real close, it would be helpful to you in the long term.
Okay.
And easier, you know, and if you can help us with that, because if we start cutting it,
No,
we may cut
absolutely.
too much.
Absolutely.
And I don't want you mad at us.
No, that's fine. I have a friend with a hedge trimmer. I'll just go bag it off and then.
Okay, and anything on the sides, or, you know, run the perimeter,
Okay,
we
sounds
would ask
good.
pretty please. And
Absolutely.
thank you.
Yeah, because right up here against the window is special. It's tight.
Right.
But there's a ton of it in
Yeah, well, you know, as the house can breathe, it doesn't rot as fast.
it. Okay.
So anyhow, thank you.
Bought a
Well,
house.
Well, luckily, with
Yeah.
the materials you're putting on here too, is you're gonna
they have 30-year
add a lot
warranty.
of years
Yeah,
to
I
the
know.
house too.
You know, and it's the wonderful thing about concrete. If you don't mind, we're gonna make a little lap around it, and then kind of make sure we have our ducks in a row. And
Yep.
and
would it be helpful for me to stay out here or head back in or
Whatever you need to do.
you can do anything. You can listen to us. We don't. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
You want to find
Okay.
his shoes?
Oh, yeah. So Randy, don't tell her any of our trade secrets, okay? The local 508 will get mad at us. And one of the things I do is what's essentially happening is we're checking margins.
Okay.
The things that I do is that 7 1/4 reveal or 6-inch reveal.
These are everything we're going to be doing. These are 6.
They look like 6s. What are they?
6.
They're 6, and what I do, I take a picture, and we can estimate lengths and get more accurate, because when we reduce margins, buffers decrease, so that we can count the number of boards up here. And all right, let me get the angle. That's what do you think? A 7, 8 pitch, or 6?
On the roof right here?
Yeah, 7/12 or 6.
That's an 8.
An 8/12 pitch, and using that, we can actually measure that angle and make sure we get that estimate right and know exactly how much board goes up there.
Okay.
And we got the trim board in the front, and they don't have the double angle trims. That trim board here is the one in the front of that gutter. Obviously shutters have to come off. We install, and then that gutter's got to come down and install, and then we put it up after we paint it.
Are we gonna you go back with the hardy with the smooth with the wood grain, or you want hardy with the bead with the smooth?
The wood grain.
Wood grain again? Okay. With the bead.
Yeah.
The wood grain with the bead.
Yep. So you can just keep it like it is.
Okay. And Randy, they got 1 course of trim. The trim doesn't turn corners anywhere that I've seen.
No.
Okay, good, thank you.
The only place that I was gonna change it is on the fireplace.
Yep.
The fireplace is gonna have a 3.5 by 4.5. The reason is, if not, it's gonna keep doing what it's doing right beside of it.
Well, you see it separating way up there, and we don't like that, because I'm giving you a warranty, and I've been doing this for 12 years, so
Okay.
we don't plan on leaving, and that means we have to do a good job.
Okay.
We don't usually do a good job, but we have to.
No, you got to. You got no choice this time. Sorry.
Right, and anyhow, yeah. All right, let's look at that deck board. Does it butt to that? Does it run behind it?
They got it notched out.
It's notched out, okay. What we'd like to do is put a piece of new board right where they have it here, and put in a piece of flashing that's brand new for you.
Okay, that's great.
Well, we try to keep your house dry.
Yeah. The one thing, like probably the lower like 8, 9 boards here on the deck. I think our hardy plank, when they did the inspection, those were already rotted, and they replaced just those bottom boards. But
They are.
I mean, I understand.
They'll be coming off.
Okay, that's fine.
But you can tell the wood grain is different in shape.
And that's fine.
Let's see if we can get those gutters working better for you, because that's what you got all that blue is. Let me get the things out of here. There, another one to here. And pull it back. There we go.
Is he using the same trim we were using, Mirrortech?
No idea.
Okay. We will be using Mirrortech. It's a composite material. It's not plastic and it's not wood. Lee may know. So,
Well, that's Mirrortech on the top.
yeah.
That's exactly what it is Mirrortech right there. And what's so great about that is the absorption rate is almost 0%.
Okay.
So it doesn't do this thing that the other stuff does. They call it drink because it does absorb water. The stuff that's not Mirrortech, it does absorb water, and because that doesn't, then it's
my brother was pointing out, and I don't know, up here on this side of this little roof over the bay window.
Yeah.
He said that they had actually set it up when they first made it that the flashing went behind, so it was like diverting the water back behind the siding, which he just said he was displeased with the workmanship. But I don't know if that's.
Flashing should run up behind, underneath the shingle, up the wall. When you put the corner board back on, the trim back on, if the water does get behind anything, it's going to come out on the fascia board.
I see. Okay. So I don't know. If there was anything wrong there with the way it was done.
We'll make it right. That's not right the way it is now.
Okay. Okay. I guess what he was observing.
While we're here, the light's going to be off the back of the house, the front of the house.
Okay.
If you want to pick up a light, we can put them back on.
Okay, yeah. Something nicer, newer. Yeah.
Well, they're $10.
Yeah, that'd be
And
great.
if you have the light there, we'll put the new one in for you.
Sounds good.
Because
either way, we got to put it back up.
Right.
Okay.
I'd rather put up a new one than try to save the parts for that.
Yeah, no, that's great to know. I'll go over to those and check that out.
Put a new dryer vent on. It's in my quote.
Okay.
Is there 10 squares on the back of this house? I'd say 10 to 12.
It's about 8 to 10 back there.
I have a suggestion. Robert De Niro's house in New York burned about a month ago.
Okay.
Because of the lint exploded.
Okay.
So that one of the things I suggest is that if you dry things, I would not use high. And then, cleaning your filter out. Not that it's ever going to stop it.
Right.
But it minimizes the accumulation.
Yeah.
Because you won't find anything more flammable than lint.
Right.
And
you got these are here actually like bathroom.
Yep.
I was going to replace these 3 here. That one's actually broke.
Yep. Well, it keeps the birds out. And you see the hardy plank on that bottom right corner there, it failed. That guy right there has failed.
Someone's done some kind of repairs up here.
I see it.
Right over there.
Underneath that window, yeah. Well, they didn't caulk it. And to remove and replace the boxes.
Yeah, so what we'll do on the day that we are here, that we pull this side off, I'm going to ask you if we can cut off the power. I'm going to actually just pull the meter out. We just have to get, whenever Duke Power comes out and reads it, they'll put a new clip on it. But it's not a good story to tell, but in the same neighborhood a while back, a guy called me and he didn't like our price that we gave him for the side. And then he called me back the first day of demo, that the guys that were tearing off the side and tore it all off, and they left everything on, and it sent surge back into the house, and the guy had to buy every appliance in the house that was plugged in.
That's
computers. Great. It was like $9,000 worth of electronics.
Wow. Yeah, but he was wishing.
So we ended up getting the job anyhow after that.
Man.
But so yeah, you're gonna come home and all your clocks will be reset.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
I'll get those back while I'm up there.
Yeah. When you have things slapping your house, those limbs actually act as a whip, and it will mar and scar and tear up shingles and siding. And Randy suggested that while we're up there, we'll trim away. But this is just kind of an FYI as you journey through life as a homeowner.
No, that's good.
That to minimize that. And well,
so yeah, I'm pretty good. I remember
12 squares.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Yeah, close. Yeah.
35 feet. A square is 10 by 10, and they measure siding and roofing the similar way.
Okay.
And that's basically the coefficient we use for our base pricing formulas, is to try and figure out what a standard labor rate would be and the standard material rate for this type of siding, you know, plus caulk, and then we have to put in the painting and getting 2 coats and checking each other. And one of the things that I, you know, here again, the teachable moment, if you look at the apex of the house, you see sky, and we'll need to get a little piece of metal in there because water's going in there. So, you know, that's ways that we take care of people that usually we don't even tell people. But since you're standing here and you look and you see the shingles coming up and you get sky behind it, it's not a good thing.
So, I'll tell you why it's done like that. When they run the point up, we always take and cut that point off and make it flat, so when that shingle rolls over, when the roofer came in and put it on, we got like a sharp pencil sticking up through some shingles, but we'll prevent it from happening again.
Well,
no, I feel good about the fact that you guys are doing it.
Sure.
I mean, it's kind of depleting all of my savings, and so I was like, if I can leave a little bit there,
of course,
I want
there's
to,
no question.
But,
I agree. I agree, and you know, one of the things that you found with good guys is the ability to compromise, without question, and
still get the same quality of work though.
Yeah,
it was
right.
good. I thought you guys, okay, we'll do a half-ass job for that.
Sure.
Price.
Well, I quit teaching, and the reason I did that is, one, I fell in love with the job when they let me hold tools, and the other is that I was so horrified by the guys coming into my house, they scared me.
Yeah.
And I was very concerned about the integrity and the quality of the character. That, you know, it wasn't a warm fuzzy, and you need it because you have to trust us.
Right.
And we try to make it easy for that to happen. Randy is cut and dry. I mean, I think a caveman could do this, except for the electric. But
the house that was on is on Nut Tree.
Okay.
that's close.
Yeah,
right there.
You go across on the left.
Right. That's awful.
It's this purple house.
Okay.
It happens though, because you know all companies don't have, all siding companies don't have guys that know how to do electrical work with them to make sure they don't.
They have their one area.
Yeah, that's right.
Randy's wife is a licensed electrician, and she is brilliant. And Sarah, we thank you for your time today and meeting us. We're very grateful for that. And I apologize, the last couple of days has been nuts. Randy was telling me about him, and that, you know, a brief sandwich at Jimmy John's is when we can collide and trying to.
No, but I'm glad we were able to find a time. Thank you guys for taking the time to come by.
There's no question here, absolutely. And you know, see if we can help in a lot of different places.
I really appreciate it.
Let me get your picture. You're at work.
I know, right?
Oh man, that's a great picture of you.
Finally got me smiling.